underway today. The first order of business is roll call numbers.
Yes.
Mrs. Record?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Yes. Next we will say
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item 3, approval of correction of the minutes of the regular meeting of August 19, 2019. Vote. Awaiting discussion. Mrs. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Albert? Yes. Mr. Herman? Yes. Mr. Russ?
Yes.
Item 4, principal supervisor facility reports, showcase.
Starting in October.
Item 5, public participation. This is where we will have the public participation. Today, well, the first one we've got on the list is Stephanie Collins. What we need you to do is if you would. If you want to come to the podium, that's fine. We would like you to recognize and introduce yourself.
It's fine. We never treat
And it looks like you're talking about United Way.
Hello, my name is Katrina Collins. I'm a new board member of the United Way of Hardin County, and it's good to see everybody tonight. I wanted to basically just kind of talk a little bit about our United Way. We have kicked off our campaign for the 2019-2020 year. We've set our goal at $195,000. It's going to be a tough goal to meet. There's been some changes with the way some of the payrolls are run at some of our bigger industries. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough campaign. We're asking for your support, as a board and administration of Kent City Schools. I know all the staff, I think, have their donations now, so we've got that going on. So we've got, donations, either a one-time donation or a payroll deduction. We also have a football drop coming up. Friday, October 5th, I believe, is our football drop. We still have tickets available. $5 a ticket and a chance to win $1,000. Those are still available. You can contact me. You can contact the United Way office. The ladies are down there between 8:30 and 3 o'clock Monday through Thursday. And yeah, we're just asking for to spread the word. Any and every little bit helps. Let me tell you, we've got 22 partner agencies, and several of the agencies deal with education, like preschool, the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, books for preschool kids. There's just a lot that these nonprofit organizations do in the county, and United Way wants to help them and help people in Hardin County. So with that, the other things coming up, we have some dine-outs. Different restaurants around the county will be having a dine-out. We'll have those out there in the media. Those dining organizations have agreed to a specific day to donate a portion of those sales back to the United Way. So another way that you guys can help us out and get a good deal in the process. So with that, I want to say thank you. And my last little bit is I'm just here to support the cross-country program. As a former mom of cross-country runners, I just want to say that it's been like no other sport that I've ever been a part of. So I just want to throw that out there. Thank you so much.
I have one question. What percentage of the funding that you take in, what stays in the
A lot of people, one of the things that we get a little assistance on is I see it out there where they're posting the salary for the CEO of United Way of America. The only thing that we send to the United Way of America is our dues. And it's like 1% of our whole campaign. Everything else stays in the county. We have overhead, we have to cover a little bit of our overhead, but we try to give to our partner agencies like 85 cents on the dollar. Yeah, so we try to keep our overhead low so we can allocate those funds to those partner agencies.
Thank you.
Okay? Okay.
Next we have Mary Ann Wood, looks like some board of access for Langston.
Something like that.
Something.
My name's Miriam.
My name's Miriam Dulin, and
I am
I
a parent, I'm a graduate, I'm a resident of the district, I'm a taxpayer of property and income tax. I'm here to support not only you guys, because you're part of education, and not a lot of people know how much you do and what all you do about our school might not realize. We have a great program for my son's seventh grade. And sophomore who's been cross-country assistant for us. There's a seventh grader, an eighth grader, and a ninth grader for the ninth grade. Cross-country program is just like no other program my kids have ever been. They've been involved in a lot of sports activities, different things throughout the schools. These coaches, they love those kids. They invest in them. I've been blessed to be part of the group that organizes the class tonight and the team the last 2 years, and just to watch those kids work together as a team. I urge you to come out. Our next one's October 10th. Egypt, you're there. It's a great thing just to see the camaraderie and the team building, and to watch those kids who come in as these little seventh graders who don't think they can, but to quote the little children's book, The Village and the Could. We're there as parents. Every last one. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Breathe. Run. Help those arms. We don't cheer for just our kid. We cheer for the team. And the team means the first one, as well as the one who doesn't think they can finish. Sometimes I think that kid has been my child. Sometimes that's the hardest one to finish the race. It's a great program, and I just urge you to really support those coaches.
Thanks, man. Gerald Bowman, you're up next.
Good evening. My name's Gerald, and my daughter runs cross-country for 4 years. I'm here with a lot of parents. So the elephant in the room for days around. There's been a lot of negativity on social media. On one set of parents, the program and the coaches. In particular, Coach Mann. We, as a collective group, decided not to engage in that activity, but bring it to the board to let you know that we love the program, we support the program, we support Coach Mann and Coach Berkey and Coach Collins, but Coach Mann is taking the blood of this negativity. And what I hope is that the character assassination stops. It's time for these things to stop. And I know as a board, we're only able to do so much. But I do think it was important for us anyway, that you hear from the other parents that what is being said, the negativity, that's not cross country. Some of us in here have been involved in students, runners, and now we're involved in parents. And we love that program, and we love that coach, and we want you to know that. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to item 6, reports of the treasurer. I was doing I have in the finances the reports with that. Then we need to make a motion to accept.
Albert.
Mr. Albert?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Item 7, superintendent's report.
So we've had a wonderful start to the year. I think things are going well. Programming's in place. And it's really nice to have a returning administrative team that can set the tone, knows the expectations, and I'm just really proud of everyone, teachers, staff, an outstanding job. Hopefully when you came for open houses back in August, you saw all the work that staff had done this summer and improvements to our facilities, and there's just a lot of good work being done. We're well in our way of professional development. I'm sure many families have realized that we're doing early releases, and that's been super powerful for our teachers and teams to collaborate. I think we have most of the bugs worked out. Yesterday went really well, so I'm really proud of what's going on. A lot of the other pieces, Doug, will come through the committee reports. I know all the committees didn't get to meet this month, but the ones that did will have some good things to share.
Moving on to item 8, board committee reports. Finance committee?
They did not meet this month, which is maybe a good sign.
How about facilities?
And so, just to give you some insight to what we're working through. We're working still through finishing out some of that athletic building area and the parking and looking at some of those things. And then we're following up on all the summer projects to make sure that we're where we need to be. For example, painting the middle school was one of our initiatives, and there's still classrooms to do some kind of assessing. We touch some of those up over winter break and those kind of pieces. So that's what tomorrow morning's agenda will be about. Concrete. Rodney's like,
Okay, expert for that.
I don't know. Can you give us some updates on some stuff?
I believe we've been changing around a few times. So I wasn't able to attend the last meeting that we had. We can schedule that.
Okay. Person.
I do have a report. So the FFA has been extremely busy. We had the Hardin County Fair, and we'd like to congratulate Karen Thomas on getting the Fair King, and also Meredith Bischoff. Sorry if I said that wrong. She was runner-up for Queen, so congratulations to both of those kids for doing an excellent job. The kids were doing farm science review, which they do every year, and then right now they are working for a soil judging. So the FFA, we have an excellent FFA program. So good job to Ms. Burns and to all the kids.
Okay, thank you. AD, that's policy committee, I'll give you more update there. We did meet last Friday, I actually have one scheduled tomorrow. And what we're actually looking at there is there's a lot of new updates that we're actually working through. We need to maybe update about 25 different policies or something like that. So we will be working through that tomorrow morning.
And Neola, just because we have an audience today, we might get to do some education. Neola is just a company that oversees our school board policies so that when federal law or something changes, that we're aligned. So because you know how rapidly things happen in the state of Ohio, let alone the world, we constantly have to monitor and make sure that our policies are aligned. So Neola comes in about once a quarter, maybe 3 times a year, and they give us a set of updates. So based on all the legislation that happened this summer, here's all your policies that aren't aligned, and here's how you need to revise them. So sometimes on those policies, those are just, we don't get a say because this was changed at the state level, or maybe even the federal level. And then there are other policies, like I think we're going to talk about next, that we say we want to look at and address and tweak to make them more aligned to what our school and our kids need.
Okay, yeah, one of the things that we're looking at is obviously there's a policy in place, draft, new curriculum, and stuff, but we're working through that, just moving that, to have the right policy in place, and we address some of the issues that has come up in the past, or maybe in the future.
Like vaping is a big thing, and does our policy adequately cover that? And so those are kind of the pieces, parts we do. Well, with the new athletic director, it's refreshing because he's coming in with new ideas and ways to push action. So it's actually kind of extracurricular. So it's anything that happens outside of the school day that's not linked to a class.
No, it's fine.
Athletics is like
That's right. There's pieces of it, address the other clause. Okay. Anything for that with that? Item 9 is school business. Is there any other business we need to release? Okay. Motion to accept.
Albert.
Striker.
Hand up. Oh, we will. Since I was how are you doing? Okay.
We're good.
Yeah, actually, I think we were at that time we were actually going to make a motion to go to executive session to consider appointment, dismissal, discipline, motion, demotion, and compensation of officials. I still move.
Just so you know, we're not doing all those things. Yeah, it will be very short. But you're more than welcome to stay or leave. It's your choice.
Oh, we need to vote for
Yes.
And like I said, you guys are more than welcome to leave if you'd like. If you want to stay, stay.
For them to put in their third down packages if you're going fast, for sure. There's so much that goes into that, and man-to-man and different things. So you can't get too crazy, but the good teams, they can still pressure against, this team that we're playing. I mean, they do a good job on tempo of still bringing pressure and getting their calls in fast. Typically, it's a field boundary operation when that happens, but you're right. I mean, there's only so much time, and you have to get the play in fast, and that's really important as a coach to understand. There's no bad play if it's on the call sheet. Only bad play is one that comes in late. So you got to get it in. You got to get rolling.
From the defensive standpoint, you saw last week some guys really step up while you were minus some people and be able to contribute. If you would, talk about some of those guys, most namely Haskell Garrett with the way he played in that game.
Yeah, we have some good depth there in the defensive line. Larry does a great job with that, rolling those guys, and Haskell played one of his best games. He was co-player of the game and graded out a champion, which is great. And so we're looking to get some of those guys back this week and play with depth. And again, that's another part of the tempo thing, is when you can play depth and you can bring guys in and you can bring line changes in. That helps throughout the game.
And Zach Harrison got to play Tyler Friday. Baptiste all get opportunities out there at defensive end against some young guys, but they're making plays out there, and you got to feel good about that. Zach Harrison, playing the option, reading it and able to chase him back shows how special a type. There's not many guys that can do that athletically, but he was able to do that. Getting some depth in there's been important. Again, when you can play the whole second half, again, valuable time for those young guys on defense to learn. Yeah,
and they're coming along a little bit faster now because they are playing, and so when you're not on the field, it's hard to progress and develop. But when they're on the field and making mistakes, that's how you learn. And the good ones, once they make a mistake once, they get that fixed. And so I think you're seeing their development a lot faster in these 4 games.
And you look in your defensive tackle room, you got, Jay Sean, he's a graduate, Antoine, Robert Landers, 5th-year guys, Devon, or Davon, 5th-year guy. You got a lot of experience in there in that group. Is that kind of the heart of your defense, so to speak? Is that those guys in that group with all the experience you have? And then counting, Jonathan Cooper on that defensive line now.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are older guys, and there's a lot of guys with experience on the whole defense. Yeah. And that's got to be important for us. Veteran guys have to play veteran, and also we gotta feel the leadership of those guys. It's one thing to do your job, but it's another thing to start bringing somebody with you. And that's going to be the challenge here as we keep going through the meat of the season.
Yeah, because they've been through those games on the road versus Purdue's, Iowa's, so in the past. That they're going to have to lead you through it the right way, and it starts up front.
That's right. And they still have a chip on their shoulder. It's not like just in 4 games all of a sudden they're feeling great about themselves. No, we got a long way to go, and we still got to come hungry every day and show up with something to prove. Really,
it's almost in football. You got to have amnesia, don't you? You got to forget about what happened last week, all the pats on the back and things, but go out and win that week, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, the 2 things are ignore the noise, and then on Sundays when we get done with our practice, you walk through that door, it's on to the next game, and the last game's gone. So
another of those veteran guys, Jeff Okude, gets his first interception in his college career, but is a guy that you've talked before about how he's been a steadying influence on that back end.
He has been. Yeah, he's very, very talented, and I think now you're seeing some of those or the experience that he's had in those first 2 seasons show up, because he's learned about how to play, and he's learned from those mistakes. But more importantly, he's really embraced the technique that Jeff's teaching, and I think he's going to have a great year. He's off to a good start.
Seven Banks, obviously making a name on special teams, and that's big. That's 3 blocks now. The goal was 5, so you're getting closer and closer. But, he's right, working with Jeff Okuda a lot, seeing what he's done on special teams over there. Again, you talk about it being contagious and it's spread, and, now he's able to step up and make the play.
Yeah, it was another team effort again, but he came off the edge and just, skinnied him the best he could and put a hand out there and got his hand on it. And then we almost returned it for a touchdown, but we get it, I think, inside the 20-yard line, and then it was a touchdown. And, again, those are the things that flip momentum and flip games.
Buckeye fans, AEP Energy is redefining the game with renewable energy plans for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And we'll have more with Coach Day in our weekly show presented by Roosters. We continue from Learfield IMG College.
At the James, we know there's no such thing as routine prostate cancer. That's why we bring together experts from a variety of disciplines to analyze your cancer at the genetic level. This approach results in advanced targeted treatments and minimally invasive surgeries, leading to better outcomes, fewer side effects, and more hope. At the James, we go beyond the routine to prevent, detect, treat, and cure your prostate cancer. To learn more, call 1-800-293-5066.
Coors Light presents A Word from Kirk Herbstreit.
It's Saturday morning, and that means it's time for college football. It means your fridge is filled with Coors Light. It means last night's pizza is this morning's breakfast. And washing it down with your first Coors Light of the day is worthy of an It's Saturday morning, and it means showers are optional.
Make Saturday mornings even more chill with a fridge full of Coors Light, the official beer of Saturday morning. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Go Buckeyes! Let's win this game. I love tailgating. The best darn band in the land. My mom makes me say it like that.
Safelite Auto Glass knows Buckeye fans love game day.
You better be wearing scarlet and gray.
That's why Safelite takes care of auto glass damage anywhere in Buckeye Nation, giving you more time for game time.
Safelite, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Safelite Repair! Safelite Replace!
When you are in need of a specialist, look no further than Ohio Health Harden Memorial Hospital. With over 11 specialties, our specialty center's physicians and staff offers care you and your family can trust when you need it close to home. So why travel out of town when convenient appointments with great care is only a short drive away? To find out more about our services offered at Harden Memorial Hospital Specialty Center, call 419-675-8101.
RDC, P2P, A2A, mobile wallet, money desktop, mobile pay, bill pay. Need we say more? With Quest Federal Credit Union, we offer more free products and services that keep you mobile, agile, and in control of your finances. Download the free Quest FCU mobile app for Android and iOS today. Membership eligibility required. Quest Federal Credit Union. Explore the possibilities. NCUA insured, equal opportunity lender.
Your region, your radio. 95.3 WKTN.
To the Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield IMG College. Time now for the Ticket to the House touchdown replay. Presented by Xmark.
Fields under center, gets the snap, rolls to his right to throw on the run, fires on the run toward the end zone, caught for 6. Chris Olave got open in the right corner of the end zone and hauls in a 13-yard touchdown pass from Justin Fields. It is 34-5 Ohio State. And our Exmark Take It to the House replay brought to you by Exmark Professional Mowing Equipment. Trusted 2-to-1 by top landscape pros over the next best-selling brand of zero-turn mowers. And welcome back to this week's Ryan Day Show, presented by Roosters, as Ohio State gets ready to head to Lincoln to take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We heard that play involving Chris Olave. He seemingly has been on a roll. Is there something that just has clicked with him, or is it experience, pure talent, and just his confidence?
Yeah, I think all the above. He's a really good player. He just has a good way about him. He's got, he's tough. He works hard. He does a good job in meetings. He, really makes a mistake. He can take a meeting to the field. Really good hand-eye coordination. Tough. He doesn't look strong when you see him because he's pretty lean looking, but he is strong. And he plays strong. And, he's on a good run.
And a guy that kind of reminds me of what Chris did last year, because he showed signs and all of a sudden came up big at the end of the year, Jamison Williams. You just want to send him deep about every play just to secure a defense.
He's fast.
Yeah, I mean, that somebody's got to try to follow him, right? It might not be a day, but he is fast, and he took that little slant route 61 yards to the house. Gunnar Hope's a smart guy.
Yeah, right. No, he found the right guy. But we knew Jameson was fast.
Yeah.
That was all documented. What we didn't know was how tough he was, and he's shown toughness. And that's huge for a receiver. I mean, the first game he went into, there was 2 shots. I think he had 4 snaps. It was, I think, FAU game. He came down, and he didn't have the right guy. He didn't even know who he was blocking. But he came down in short motion and absolutely tattooed a linebacker. I mean, laid him out. And we showed it to the team. The team went wild. The next play, it was an outside run play. He pushed crack on a safety and just, I think he kind of took the brunt of the force on that one. But he absolutely poured it into the safety. And it just goes to show you that, some guys, the minute they're into a game, like you said, some dogs bite early or puppies, bite when they get in there. And so that's what he's doing. I mean, he's really showing that he has the ability to play tough. And that's the thing for me that surprised me, because I thought he was just kind of a fast receiver that was going to take a time, but he's shown some good things to us.
Yeah, there's one thing about track speed, and then there's one thing about football speed,
Exactly.
and he had both of it. And you said if he's got that toughness, that's going to be a package. So is he going to be in some more packages?
Yeah, we're going to keep going. I mean, I think we here's the deal again. The older receivers, they're playing kind of in the first half of these 4 games, so they're not getting as many targets and things. And thank God they're so unselfish. They're great kids, but I think our older guys are playing good too. So, but it's good to have that depth in there.
Is that where you're seeing some of that translate to special teams also with what those guys have done with their speed?
Yeah. And the more Jameson shows up like that, the more he can help on special teams. It just helps the whole team in general.
Another one, Garrett Wilson, obviously had a big return in the game. If I could get another chance, but he's been a guy that's really stepped up. A couple TDs now. He seems to make plays.
Yeah, he does. We see that in practice. He has unbelievable ball skills and body control, and he can really time up those passes down the field. And how he caught that one, I'm not sure, but we see those things a lot of times in practice. And again, he's learning how to practice, and the more you practice, at a high level, the better you can play the game.
Another guy that seems to have a knack for those is Benjamin Victor, the one he caught under the goalpost. Think back to the one he made at Penn State last year. If we probably looked at all of his touchdowns, they'd all be difficult catches, it would seem to the lay people.
Yeah, he same thing with him. He's got that giant catch radius. So when you're a quarterback, he has, I think, a 7-foot wingspan. So if you kind of throw it anywhere in his vicinity, you got a chance. And again, when he plays well for us and he makes those big plays, he really helps us offense get rolling.
Then you talked about the leaders, obviously Austin Mack playing unselfish. KJ Hill, just does his thing and got the longest touchdown of his career, rewarded with that, a 53-yarder last week. And he's like to see it because he's another guy that's just worked hard. He came back for his 5th year. That's a little bit different in today's game, but it's paying off for him early on.
Yeah, and these are guys that, they're older guys. They've been around. They've seen it before, and the leadership's critical. But as we start getting into these conference games and they're going to get into the 4th quarter and, we're going to be up against it, they're going to have to step up even more. They're going to have to make contested plays on 3rd down. They have to make contested plays in the red zone. And it's going to be really important if they make those plays. And so, they got to stay hungry, which they have been. They've been practicing really well. I thought I had a really good practice yesterday. So we're going to need those guys, especially this week.
Amongst our social media questions, David in Delaware, who asked about the difficulty in spotting a quarterback tendency that may tip if a certain play is going to be a run or a pass.
Well, there's a lot that goes with that. It's typically the offensive linemen that give away run pass, really, based on their stance, if they want to kind of cheat a little bit to get into a drop, or whether they want to, put their weight forward and kind of run off the ball. Kind of the cornerback pretty much is just lined up under center. He's in the shotgun with the same stance. So it's kind of hard to pick up the run pass tendencies there. And then now with the RPOs and the offensive line sometimes is running the run play.
Authorizations and resolutions. I guess we need to make a motion to accept.
Striker.
A vote?
Can we do one discussion? I just want to discuss 10C. So today I got a report that there might be a birthday, and that there was a question about whether or not it's today or in August or in September. So I contacted the police chief, and he did confirm that it's Officer Cole's birthday. I'd like to recommend
Yeah, I can't say what I'd like to do.
I know you can't say it, so that's why I'm saying come up here.
Thank you, guys.
And actually, in there, one other thing I wanted to mention is there, we did have two applications for category 2, which is KCS PCO and
So maybe we should define category 2, because again, we have an audience. Like the first line. Not that I'm encouraging. Yeah, let's take advantage of what we can teach. So on our facility request form, and I believe it was probably last year when we opened the new athletic building, we have a category 2 that always said board approved organizations, and we never board approved or really figured out what that meant. So we developed a form for category 2, and now organizations that work in conjunction with Kenton City School, endorsed activities, which would be like our sports, our extracurricular activities, they can file for a category 2. So if you're interested, when you get your facility request form now, there's a category 2 form. If you read through and you think that you are eligible, you fill that out and submit it, and then policy committee reviews the application, we send it back if we have questions, and then once it's all ready to go, we recommend it to the board, and that's what you had tonight. We had 2 applications, we vetted it in policy, and now it's coming to the board for the vote. So that's a new process.
Very good system.
Very good system. We put that in.
Any other discussion? Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Mr. Carnes?
Yes.
Mr. Rush? Ms. Striker?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, item 11, personal items. Looks like we're do some supplemental contracts. Some substitutes. Some maternity. Is there any discussion? Okay, let's take a motion. Okay, how about discussion?
And these are all pretty standard. Usually we do it before the season starts, if that makes sense. So Brett recommends the different positions. Your things like design team, those are a little bit late, but we had to vet our team leads first, and that happened in August. And so these would be like your district leadership team members. Some of you have attended those meetings before, so that's what those are. We are still always accepting substitute anything. So if anyone wants to apply, we have those applications, and we would love to help people get licensed to be subs in any area of our school district. We can use that help. I think everything else is pretty cut and dry.
Mr. Rush? Yes. Ms. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Albert?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Item 12, we're actually going to do a motion to go into executive session and discuss details of specialized security.
That's work.
No action will be taken after this.
Time 10 is 7:33.
We appreciate you attending tonight. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much.